Hey everyone. So I've had a bunch of people ask me to do a video on the accident and basically what's been happening. So I have been doing weekly vlogs, but they want to know a bit more in-depth information. So this is what this video is about. So May 2023, I was working in Blacktown. My work went into administration. And so lost my job basically. I had another job lined up pretty much straight away, so no issues there. I had the I had the medical booked in for the Wednesday, and I had the accident on the Monday. So obviously didn't make it to the medical, so therefore I didn't get the other job. It was mine if I passed the medical. But yeah, so work went into administration. I went up to Sydney on the motorbike to have lunch with my ex-work colleagues. Had lunch with them, and we left the pub. Came out, got on the bike, and pulled out of the pub onto the main road. Drove about, I don't know, a kilometre down the road. I was coming up to, so it was two lanes. He was in the left lane, I was in the right lane, and then there was a third lane coming up, which was a turning lane to turn right. So I'll put some pictures up here so you can see it. But yeah, so basically driving along, and it was a courier driver, international driver's license. So whether he doesn't know the road rules, I don't know. But basically, it seemed like he needed to turn right instead of going straight. So he's no blinker, just come straight across. I've seen him out of the corner of my eye, so I've slammed the brake on the bike, which then obviously slammed the front brake. So the bike stops a lot quicker than a car does. So it leans forward. So what happened is we're parallel with each other pretty much, and then the rear of his vans then clipped the front of my bike and pushed me into the medium strip. And because the bike's going like this at the same time, the front wheel basically smashed into the medium strip and launched me, basically like Superman, through the air. And I went across the medium strip, across the lane, and landed in the second lane of incoming traffic, and rolled. And I think I might have passed out for a second or something like that, but I was there, and I sat up, and I basically just put my hands up in the air because there was cars coming at me, and they stopped probably about a metre from hitting me. So if it was another second later, I would have been ran over or ended up in somebody's windshield, basically. And then everyone pulled me off the road up onto the medium strip. They didn't want to move me, but I said, get me off the road, because cars were still driving past, and last thing I wanted to do was get run over again. Get run over. Yeah, and the guy in the van, apparently from what I've been told, he got out of the van, looked around, jumped back in the van. The guy behind us basically pulled him out of the van, took a picture of his license, grabbed his details, and then the guy jumped in the van and took off. So semi hit and run. That's not something I would do personally. I would have gone to hospital with the person if I'd hit someone. But yeah, different culture, different whatever, he panicked. I got no idea. Yeah, but so then the ambulance came, took me in the ambulance. The paramedics basically said to me that I should have died. So I was very lucky. Took me to the hospital, scanned me head to toe, tests, all that kind of stuff, and I got discharged within, I think it was 6 hours, something like that, saying that I had muscle pain. So I took a bunch of skin off my hand from the accident. So they gave me a referral to see a plastic surgeon 2 days later. So I was walking around, but not really walking around. I was hobbling around, basically. Went to the plastic surgeon. He looked at my hand. He said, "Look, that'll be fine. It'll heal." He was more worried about my leg. He said to go get a scan done on it. I said, "Look, I've already had a scan. They've ruled out all the stuff, blah, blah, blah." He said, "Just go get one anyway." So I went and got another scan done. They pulled me out of the machine pretty much straight away and told me to go straight down to the emergency. Went down there. The orthopedic surgeon spoke to me and said, "I have broken my tibia platae," which is basically, so like you've got your knee, and that's the bottom part, and I've snapped this part here, virtually. So I walked on a broken leg for 2 days. It hurt, but I have a high pain tolerance. So then they did the surgery, put a bunch of plates and screws and all that kind of stuff in. And then I was no weight bearing for, I think it was 6 to 8 weeks or something like that. Had to be in a straight leg brace, which was horrible. And it's then I had surgery on it again to remove the plates and screws. And that surgery didn't go on 100% because they left the bits and pieces of the plate and screws still in my knee because they snapped off and stuff. And I've also got issues with my shoulder, my neck, my jaw, my back. Still not weight bearing on my leg. It's been coming up to 2 years now. I've basically been told that this is as good as I'm going to get. So I'm going to walk with a walking stick or crutches or something for the rest of my life. Which is something that I have to come to terms with. Some days it's easier than others, but it's still, I still haven't come to terms with it. And I know there's a lot of other people that are worse off and had amputations and all this kind of stuff, but it still gets me down. But I've had multiple injections of nerve blocks, cortisone into my back because I've damage from the accident L4, 5, S1 and the sacrum joint, I think it's called. I'm not sure how to pronounce it properly, but basically like where the hip is. I've had injections in the shoulder, which didn't do anything. I've been seeing the chiropractor and the acupuncture and the massage therapist, and I've been doing hydro weekly. Also seeing a psychologist. Still get nightmares from the accident, to be honest. And I've been on 100 different painkillers. Some helped, but helped for a little bit. And eventually I went and seen a pain specialist. Had a good chat with him. He tried me on a bunch of different tablets and patches and all this kind of stuff, and just found that nothing was quite working. A lot of the tablets and stuff were just messing with my guts and stuff like that. So they recommended that I try the medicinal cannabis. I was a bit hesitant at first, spoke to my family and friends about it, and they also just give it a try. See how it goes. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So I gave that a go, and that's the only thing that's helped with the pain. Helps me to sleep. I'm still not sleeping the greatest. When I say it helps massively. But still daily, I'm still in pain. And at night, I think it gets worse at night because obviously during the day you move around. So it inflames the joints and the areas, and because I've got nerve damage as well and stuff, because I was going about 50-60 k's an hour when I left the bike, and virtually just smashed into the road. So it's quite an impact. So it hurt quite a bit. So daily pain, and that's just something that I'm trying to cope with. I don't like to be medicated. I like to try and have a clear head, but sometimes it gets really bad. So sometimes I got to take it more regularly, or a high dosage of it and stuff like that. But I still only take, what I'm prescribed, I maybe take a 1/12 of that. So to put that in comparison, so I'm meant to be taking, I don't know, 100 milligrams a day, and I take 5. So, so I've got to have surgery on my back. There's nothing that they can do for my knee, my shoulders. I seen another orthopedic surgeon about my shoulder that specialises in shoulders, and he's virtually said that there's nothing that they can do. He said he even tells the same thing to like paraplegics and stuff like that, because they obviously use their arms and their shoulder. So virtually I'm using my arm and my shoulder as a leg, and that's not what it's designed for. So my shoulder is only going to get worse, and I basically just need to try and strengthen it. I've got a few cuts and scars and stuff like that, which I'm seeing a plastic surgeon for that as well, and they're going to stitch them up, but that's just a cosmetic thing. But yeah, the back surgery's it's meant to help slightly with the pain, maybe 10%, but it's more for it not to get any worse. And I've been told by, I think it's two doctors now, that I'm not going to be going back to work. So I struggle. Look, my kids are in Sydney, and it's about an hour trip for me to get there. I can't drive because it's my right leg, and I can't bend the knee properly, and I can't push down on the brake hard enough without being in pain. So if I needed in an emergency to push down on the brake, I wouldn't be able to do it. I could probably do it, but it would hurt like buggery. But then again, I can't sit in the car for an hour. I can sit in the car for an hour, but I'm in the passenger seat and I'm every 10, 15 minutes I'm moving around because I'm uncomfortable because my back is sore, or my legs sore, or my neck's sore. So yeah, I struggle to do an hour trip in the car. I do it, but it's hard work. Um, Even walking, like I can walk short distances, but I have to take a break every 15, 20 minutes. Um, yeah, so because I can't put all my weight on my leg. Um, and obviously my other leg is taking all the weight, or most of it. So that leg tires out and gets sore more, and which then, because I'm walking like this, then on obviously my hips and my back, and it's just a flow-on effect. It's one thing after another. But yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, seen a bunch of specialist doctors. I've got my rehab, and yeah. So if you want to know anything else, let me know. More than happy to talk about it. And yeah, thanks for watching.